In defense of MGTOW. Whoo, imagine that. In defense of MGTOW. Look, let me start off with this. I am not saying all of a sudden now I am MGTOW. So let's get that out the way. I don't want MGTOW community to go after me and say, oh, welcome to the community. I am, however, in defense of MGTOW. Okay. I am not the type that is a fan of polarized thinking. I'm not part of any of the pills, red pill, black pill, blue pill, whatever. You've heard this in other videos. I do not like that polarized type of thinking because it limits us. I use the metaphor of MMA or the UFC, right? If I was a boxing guy and I kept noticing opponents getting knocked out and submitted because other folks are doing other types of martial arts, but my ego and my pride say, well, I'm just going to stick to boxing because that's what I know. Even though you keep seeing people get knocked out and submitted, why would you stick to that polarized type of thinking just because you think you're right? So again, I get away from polarized thinking because I do like to open up to different facts and opinions. And if I'm proven wrong internally, or I notice that there's an idea that maybe didn't make sense at first, but then upon a little bit of investigation, I can agree with 5% of it or 10% of it, even if I discard the other 90%. What ends up happening with polarized thinking is that it's all or none, right? Anyway, so getting back to this, why am I in the defense of MGTOW? All right, I'm probably going to jack up this very cliche quote, but I'm sure you've heard it. Insanity is doing the same thing twice or plenty of times and expecting a different result. Might have been Einstein. They say Einstein quoted that originally. Who knows? Why would I waste 10 hours? This is just anecdotal example. Why would I waste 10 hours on an online dating site or swiping app to talk to a woman where maybe only 0.05% of them are going to respond and they give me half-assed responses? In defense of women, I get it. There's creeps and freaks and guys that tire you out to even want to do online dating. I get that. But if you're there for a reason. Quit giving me half-assed responses. Or if we match, like if you look at some of the functionalities of Bumble and Hinge, there's prompts there after you match that forces the conversation to be initiated. If you're not going to do that, quit wasting my damn time. So in a way, I see why men go their own way. Why would you waste 5 or 10 hours online, right? Because it does involve a little bit of creative wit, if you care about it, referencing their profile, a little bit of creativity, a little bit of conversation flow. That takes a little bit of mental energy and effort, okay? A little bit of focus, it does. Unless you're just going to message hi, hello, hey, sexy the whole damn time, which that's a whole nother episode. Why would I waste time putting in all this effort for minuscule results, outputs, when I could be working on myself? I could be reading, I could be working out. And here's the thing. I'm talking about guys that even if they completely have it going on, right? The 666, 6 foot, 6-pack abs, 6-figure job, has all of that going on. And women are still half-assing it. Some of y'all have gone to online dating as a means to validation. You spent more time, collectively spent more time on your pictures, your filters, building out your profile than the collective time of responding to guys that actually got it going on. But because you're bored or you're lazy or you're just there for the attention, you're wasting our time. And in a way, you're wasting your time because you're just bored and you just want to pass the time. You're using online dating as a cousin to an Instagram or a TikTok instead of actually trying to have a conversation with someone. And this is where the women are going to respond and say all kinds of things. They get caught up in their feelings, some of them. Now, I'm not generalizing all women, but they're going to be all offended. Well, it's just because you guys can't, talk to us the right way. Or no, again, listen, okay? Get the egotistic earwax out of your ears and listen. What I'm saying is the guys that are quality that got it going on, give a damn. Give a damn. Don't just hop on your Tinder, Hinge, or Bumble, POF, whatever you're using. Don't just hop on there because you're bored. Your purpose should be, you know what? I'm going to try to catch a vibe with someone, not because I'm bored and I want to pass the time. I can tell from pictures. I've been doing this long enough as a dating expert, dating coach in this industry for a decade plus. I can tell just by the pictures someone puts up what their personality is like. I can tell if they're just a bored attention seeker, or I can tell if they're actually making an effort and they leave with a little bit of modesty and flirtation. I can tell. But going back to the subject at hand, why would a guy waste his time? So that's why I say you should have MGTOW moments. Don't be permanent with this MGTOW mentality, okay? Now, I'm not going to touch upon incels, right? Those guys have left the reservation. They're not coming back. But you need to have MGTOW moments because things evolve. Things change. All right, 10 years ago, PUA was the thing. Everyone was like focused on the mystery method and peacocking. That was the thing back then, about 10 years ago. There was no Rollo Tomasi, aka Greg Miller, rational male, red pill type of thinking. That did not exist. So imagine things are going to evolve 5 or 10 years from now. It may no longer be this pill type of thinking. There might be something else that'll evolve when it comes to the manosphere. Maybe the manosphere is not even in the lexicon anymore. MGTOW may not even be. It might be. Who knows? But you have to have MGTOW moments to then come back to this. Because here's the thing. If you're looking for connection, if you're looking for sexual partner, if you're looking for an activity partner, long-term, marriage, anything all in between, okay? If you're looking for any of that, you're going to have to come back to the pool, to the dating circus, as some in the MGTOW community call it. You're going to have to come back to this, okay? Whether it's meeting that geeky girl who hangs out at the comic store that you really have a crush on, you're going to have to practice your seduction, flirtation skills, how to initiate communication. And if she's giving you attention back, she's giving you attraction signals back, choosing signals, then if you've been off the reservation for years, you're not going to know what to do. So yes, it is fine to have MGTOW moments. And MGTOW moment, it may last a couple of days where you're like, you know, I'm just going to work on school or work or a creative outlet. It may last months. And yeah, it may last a year plus. But make them moments because we all evolve as people. Sometimes we go through our depression. Sometimes we go through anxiety. We go through our times of euphoria. As we evolve and we get to know each other as people, right? Our internal and external locus of control. Could be a whole nother podcast episode on that. Shout out to Date Coaching Services if you do want to learn more about locus of control. But just make them moments. As for the woman, okay, woman listening to this, yes, I am advocating for men to go their own way if they're BSing with their time. There is no reason why they need to waste all this time for little output, I should say. So, woman, y'all need to step up. Do not make the excuse of, well, I'm just busy. I don't have much time for online dating, but you had time to do all those filtered photos. And we check you out on Instagram. We know the girls that got time to be staring at their phones, doing 20 stories a day, but all of a sudden you don't have time for online dating. You don't have time to respond. You don't have time to really connect. What are you on there for? What are you on there for? Again, some of y'all are doing the right thing. So, okay, don't be offended because it doesn't fit you. It doesn't fit your narrative. I'm talking to the half-assed woman that have maybe made it to this entire video if they're not too busy watching TikTok videos. Okay? This is why men are going their own way. And I'm talking men that are good looking, that got a career, that are fun, that are muscular, that can toss you around if they wanted to, that are funny, that are not too wounded emotionally. Those are the ones you're passing up with your prideful, boring, lazy mentality. So men, yes, do your thing. Focus on you. But come back to this. If your goal is to find a partner, just have a lot of sex, you need to come back to this. Don't have a permanent MGTOW moment. And I'm going to leave it with this. Okay? This is going to really offend some in the MGTOW community. Don't waste more than 2 hours listening to these panels. There's a lot of knowledge, but those 2 or 3 hours, you could have been reading up on philosophy. You could have been reading up on history. You could have been working on your body. You could have gave your body and mind a break from these 5-hour, 8-hour panels. All right. I'll say this is tough love. It's not to be a judgment call in the community. It's tough love because we only have one life to live. Are you going to spend it on all these YouTube panels, wasting hours? Or are you going to work on yourself? Don't do it out of spite for women. Do it for you. So, wrap it up. Yes, I am defense for MGTOW moments. I totally understand. I get it. Woman, you need to step up or we're going to step around. And in 5 or 10 years, I do believe that online dating is going to die off thanks to half-ass women and creepy, freaky guys. So that's all I got. We can either fix this. We're at a crossroads right now. We can either fix this or make it worse. You choose.